Welcome to the club, Leo Messi. That's how former football star Kaka congratulated Leo after El Punga of Argentina won the World Cup 2022. Of course, the club that the former Milan star refers to here is not a normal football team or organization. It's a group of 9 legends who have achieved the top trio of prestigious titles in a footballer's lifetime: the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or, and the World Cup. Indeed, throughout the history of football, the number of players in this prestigious club does not exceed 2 digits. So before Messi, which members did this legendary club include? No one can deny the greatness of Bobby Charlton. Almost his entire life, this knight only devoted himself to football. As the central figure of Manchester United after the Munich air disaster, Bobby Charlton brought the Red Devils to the English League Championship and ushered in a glorious era for the Manchester club. 3 years after winning in England, Bobby Charlton continued to lead the Red Devils to their first European Cup title and became the first English team to win the continent's most prestigious trophy. During his peak 17 years at Manchester United, Bobby Charlton made 758 appearances and scored 249 goals. He was the top scorer in Red Devils history until his successor Wayne Rooney surpassed him in January 2017. Not only a great legend of Old Trafford, Sir Bobby also captained England to the 1966 World Cup Championship, which remains the only Golden Cup for the Three Lions to this day. Bobby scored a total of 3 goals in that World Cup, including a brace against Portugal in the semi-finals, which led England to the final against West Germany. Though he didn't score in the final, Bobby Charlton played a crucial role in neutralizing the opposition's ace, Franz Beckenbauer. Not only did he win the Best Player award at the World Cup, but Bobby also received the Ballon d'Or. It could be said that 1966 was the peak year of Bobby's career when he won the 3 titles of the European Cup, World Cup, and Ballon d'Or. No need to say much. The nickname Der Bomber is more than enough to evoke the generations of football viewers of the last century about a super striker that the world has ever seen. Gerd Müller is one of the figures who greatly contributed to building the reputation of Bayern Munich and the German national team on the world football map. He scored 566 goals in 607 appearances for Bayern. Müller held the record for the most goals in the Bundesliga with 365 goals before Lewandowski broke it in 2021. The greatness of the bombing king is not only about the number of goals but also about how he scored at crucial moments. In the 1970 World Cup, he scored 10 goals, although he couldn't help Germany win the championship. His outstanding performances in the tournament in Mexico helped Müller win the Ballon d'Or. 4 years later, at the 1974 World Cup, Müller added 4 more goals, including a goal in the final against the Netherlands that helped West Germany become champions. That was also the year when the German legend won the European Cup with Bayern Munich, marking the beginning of Bayern's magical era with 3 consecutive European titles, a feat that only Real Madrid under the Zidane era could replicate 40 years later. Not stopping there, Gerd Müller was also awarded the title of the greatest goal scorer of all time in world football in 2000 and was named in Pelé's FIFA 100 list. Gerd Müller is the greatest striker in German history, but the greatest player in the history of German football can only be Franz Beckenbauer. Considered the greatest player that German football has ever produced, Franz Beckenbauer's contributions to Germany cannot be underestimated. Franz Beckenbauer was the most important member contributing to Bayern's era of dominance with 3 consecutive European championships. At the national team level, he captained the West German team when they won Euro 1972, as well as the 1974 World Cup. In the final match in West Germany that year, Franz Beckenbauer commanded his teammates to effectively neutralize the famous total football of the Netherlands. Therefore, the 1974 World Cup final is considered the moment that brought Franz Beckenbauer's name to the pinnacle of his career. He is the only defender in football history to have won the Ballon d'Or twice, in 1972 and 1976. Franz is also credited with pioneering the role of a modern sweeper or libero. Not stopping there, his leadership skills helped German football reach new heights. At the 1990 World Cup, Franz Beckenbauer, as head coach, led Germany to victory after defeating Argentina in the final. Franz Beckenbauer is one of 2 people to have won the World Cup as both a player and a coach, alongside Didier Deschamps. Italy is proud to have produced renowned defensive walls, but when it comes to an immortal icon, many would choose Paulo Rossi. Rossi's greatest achievement in his career was winning the 1982 World Cup with the Italian national team, despite the scandals following the Totonero match-fixing scandal. Rossi was still named in Italy's squad for the 1982 World Cup. It was considered a historic decision of the Azzurri because in that tournament, Paulo Rossi was the brightest star. Half of his 6 goals scored in Spain that summer was a hat trick that helped Italy defeat Brazil 3-2, the strongest team at the time. Rossi also opened the scoring in the final, paving the way for Italy's victory over Germany, thereby bringing the 3rd Golden Cup to this country. The Golden Boot Award, along with the 1982 World Cup title, helped Rossi win the Ballon d'Or the same year. Italy's championship with Rossi's 6 goals also changed the society of Italy. They found in football a salvation for the chaos of corruption, terrorism, and financial crises. This was the beginning of football no longer being just a recreational sport, but instead becoming a billion-dollar industry with Serie A as the destination for top stars. 3 years after the 1982 World Cup, the Italian legend went down in history when he joined Juventus's lineup in winning the European Cup after defeating the reigning champions Liverpool. If there is a list of the greatest number 10s of all time, Zidane certainly cannot be outside the top 5. Talking about Zidane is talking about the combination of graceful play and exceptional game-reading ability. Mastering Zidane was an impossible task for the football world in the 90s or 2000s, and wherever he went, in whichever team, Zidane was always the core of that team's play. In 1998, Zidane led the French national team to the World Cup title with a brace against Brazil in the final. A few months earlier, the French legend also won the Scudetto with Juventus. Zidane ended his magical season by winning the Ballon d'Or in 1998. However, in Juventus colors, Zidane had no luck in the European arena, as he fell twice in the Champions League finals. Zidane moved to Real Madrid and fulfilled his dream in 2002, when he scored one of the greatest goals of all time against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League final that year. As a coach, what Zidane achieved was even greater when he helped Real Madrid dominate Europe for 3 consecutive seasons. Since the tournament was renamed the Champions League, no club has achieved this feat except Real Madrid under the Zidane dynasty. Legendary figure of Brazilian football and considered one of the greatest forwards in Barcelona's history, Rivaldo was the first player outside of Europe to win 3 prestigious titles. Unlike those mentioned before, Rivaldo did not win the Ballon d'Or after winning the World Cup or Champions League. He was named at the Ballon d'Or ceremony in 1999 after winning the Copa America with Brazil and La Liga with Barcelona. 3 years later, Rivaldo was one of the key players contributing to Brazil's journey to conquer the World Cup in 2002. He ended that tournament with 5 goals against 5 different opponents. Just a year later, Rivaldo conquered Europe with AC Milan, scoring 2 goals in 12 matches. Throughout his illustrious career, Rivaldo scored 27 goals and made 12 assists in 73 Champions League matches. The sorcerer of the football field, the magician, the samba dancer, so many poetic descriptions to capture the emotions he evoked. For those who adore beautiful football, Ronaldinho is certainly one of the most impressive names. Ronaldinho didn't amass many trophies, but fans still see him as one of Brazil's greatest number 10s. Ronaldinho was synonymous with the number 10 jersey during his time at Barcelona, where he left indelible dribbling moments that are still talked about today. Ronaldinho was part of the Brazil team that won the 2002 World Cup. The Barcelona legend played 5 matches, scored 2 goals, and had 3 assists. Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Rivaldo formed the trio of the greatest forwards in the tournament's history. In 2005, Ronaldinho led Barcelona to La Liga victory and guided Brazil to triumph in the Confederations Cup. In that tournament, Ronaldinho scored 3 goals, including 1 against Germany in the semi-final and 1 in the final against Argentina. The Barcelona legend ended that season with the Ballon d'Or. In the 2005-2006 season, Ronaldinho scored 7 goals and provided 5 assists in 12 Champions League matches to lift Barcelona to the top of Europe. Kaka's role wasn't clearly demonstrated in the 2002 World Cup, where the Brazilian only appeared for 25 minutes in the group stage match against Costa Rica. Despite this, he still lifted the Gold Cup in Asia that year. The following season, Kaka was recruited by AC Milan, the reigning Champions League champions, for $8.5 million, marking one of AC Milan's most successful deals in history. Kaka immediately impressed coach Carlo Ancelotti with his talent. He displaced his senior Rui Costa to the bench with his speed, superb tactical awareness, and goal-scoring ability. The 2006-2007 season was Kaka's peak, as he scored 10 goals in the Champions League. Not only did he win the Golden Boot, but Kaka also played a central role in AC Milan's triumph. In that same year, Kaka was honored at the Ballon d'Or ceremony, marking the last player to win the award before the Messi and Ronaldo era dominated for over 10 years. Above are the 8 legends who have collected all 3 of football's most prestigious titles. With the 2022 World Cup Championship, Leo Messi has officially become the 9th member of this legendary club.